Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are doing a Q&A. I asked you for your questions and I really am grateful for everybody who gave me their amazing, wonderful questions. We really do have some great ones. Now this video is going to be a really long video, so stay tuned. Grab a cup of tea, herbal tea, caramel latte, and let's get into this. Now the first question is from Carmel, and she says, how do you truly enjoy your own presence when going out to try to meet men, basically, and not to give off that I'm here for a reason vibe / energy? It's just about, you have to go out anyway, right, to go and do things and live your life, and that is what you are doing. So you're not going out headhunting for men. You are going out running your daily errands, doing the things that you need to do, taking yourself out to lunch, going shopping, going sightseeing, doing X, Y, and Z, but in nice areas while you look cute. So really your mindset is not on headhunting men, it's on living your life, being your fabulous self, but looking your best. And when you're doing that, you are in your own energy. You are not vibrating thinking about these other guys. You are just thinking about yourself, doing what you need to do, but looking your best while you're doing it. And that is how to get, in my opinion, the best results. So that is my advice to you. Live your life while looking cute and it will just come. Tino Tenda Mashanda says, how should feminine women act in a relationship? How do they handle fights or conflict in a relationship? Well, when to act feminine in a relationship is just the same as when you act feminine whilst being single as well. Sometimes you must realize that a man wants to feel like a man the same way as you want to feel like a woman. So if you are making him feel little, if you are trying to compete with him over every single thing, that is not being feminine. That is trying to be his competition, and to be his competition is to be another man. So don't try to be his competition, don't try to be a man. So soften yourself up, allow yourself to be looked after. That is femininity in a relationship. So handling fights and conflict in a relationship, that is a really, really amazing point. And for me, I would say it's about just speaking to somebody normally on a level as though you respect them. Because when you are with somebody who funds your lifestyle, gives you no real reason to actually complain, then there really aren't many arguments to have anyway. And when when something does arise where you don't agree or see eye to eye, it's just about speaking to them, not raising your voice, and just saying, look, this is how I feel about it. And that's literally it. Speak to them like a nice human being instead of going hard, shouting, being bossy, attitude. No, that's not how to have a conversation. So just speak to somebody with respect for the best conflict and fight outcome. Shamelessly Vero, my bae, she says, playing a role versus being authentically you, how to keep focused on the goal while playing the part in the beginning, separating fantasy versus reality to protect your own energy. Love you, boo. Okay, so playing a role versus being authentically you, how to keep focused. Well, at the end of the day, you are not the same person with everybody in your life. So when you speak to your mother, you speak to her in a certain way. You're not going to be being sexy and flirting with your mom. When you speak to your co-workers, you are not flirting with them either. When you speak to a guy who you are dating, you are flirting with him. So it's not being authentically you, it's being you with the people that you need to be like that with. Okay, so stop thinking of it as not being yourself. It is not being yourself. So just remember that. So you said how to keep focused on the goal, playing the part in the beginning. Well, it's not just in the beginning, it's throughout. It's about who you should be or who you are becoming. Okay, so stop thinking about it as putting on an act or doing this and that. No, It is who you are or who you are becoming as a person. So once you start becoming a new person, it's not, you don't have to think about it anymore. It's just natural and it's normal for you. So thank you for that question, Vero. Venus Lady says, how to flirt through text but not into sexting, how to be flirty in general but not be seen as easy, masculine or trashy. Flirting through text can be things like, oh, I can't wait to kiss you or something. That is not trashy, masculine or easy, and it's not sexting, but it is still flirting. So you can say things like that to somebody, as long as you are not saying, oh, I can't wait to bust it wide open. That is different if you are just dating somebody, but when you are saying, oh, I can't wait to have a cuddle from you, or oh, I'm just getting into a hot bubble bath right now, that is flirting, but you're not coming across as easy or trashy or anything. Masked Bloom 7274 says that she wants more outfit videos. So okay, she wants a continuous try on outfit series. My feminine video where I show different things on the screen was a really good video. I really enjoyed researching the pieces, speaking about them as well. I really enjoyed that video, so I will definitely be doing more of those videos. When it comes to try on hauls, I will be doing more of those videos as well. Montana says, when getting to know somebody, wait to reply, what to speak about, how long to entertain the textation ship. Okay, well, like, you do not entertain a texting relationship for longer than a week, because that's a joke. If somebody has not asked to meet you and it has been 7 days, it's time to forget that they exist and just speak to somebody who understands how to do this and how to court a woman. Okay, so that's the first thing. And how long to wait to reply to somebody? There must be a varied time. So maybe it will take you 30 minutes one time. Next time it might take you an hour. It might take you, you know, maybe you're already online when he sent you the next message, so you might reply back instantaneously. Another time it may take you 3 hours to respond. So make sure that it's just varied. That's what I would say. What to speak about, you don't really lead the conversations anyway, so you don't need to know that. But if he has had a long day at work, ask him how his day was. Ask him how work went. Ask him if he said, you know, what are you having for dinner? Ask him back. You know, it's just basic small things, but just to let him understand, oh, I'm thinking of you. Just say stuff like that as well when you don't know what to say. Or, oh, I can't wait for us to go on another date again after the quarantine is finished. Where should we go? So you can start making him get excited about this time being over as well. Okay, so Just Chrissy says, when turning a normal guy into a SD, how do you make that transition without him knowing that that's what you're trying to do? I know you said before 3-date rule and then do the Princess Dilemma act, but when you want regular money, I don't want to have to pretend. Is there something wrong to get money regularly? Okay, so Chrissy, I would say that if you are turning somebody into your SD, even though you are not actively saying it, it is an autonomous act. So they know that they are handing you money and that they are helping you to pay your bills and live life. They know that. It's an autonomous act, meaning it's out of their own free will, and they know that they're handing you money, which in essence is an SD, right? My response to your question is that every single situation is going to be different. If you are long distance or something and you want to say that you are going to see him more often, that can be a reason for you to leave your job and him to provide fully. You can also be working like 2 jobs and never have time to meet with him, and that can be a reason for him to want you to not work anymore so that you can date him more regularly. And also, you don't just have to have one person that you are coming up with, like you said, these princess dilemmas that you are coming up with these dilemmas for. It can be multiple, so you can have more guys on the go. But remember guys that some men do not understand dilemmas, and some men actually need you to verbally be a bit more upfront and just say, look, can you actually help me out? I'm going through a really difficult time. Some men do need that. So you need to know who you're talking to and what the situation is for you to know how to play it. So you have to play it by ear. Okay, Jade Divine has asked about tips for dressing for your body type. Honestly, I would need to see you to be able to say, oh, I think this looks better, that looks better. You said that you have no hips. Wear something that cinches you in at that waist, because that will give you that more shapely look that you are probably going for. And if you have a feature that looks better, then try to accentuate that feature and have it out more. That's my advice to you. Mon Cherie says, how should we greet at a first date? A hug, a handshake, nothing. Should a man initiate it or a woman? You go in for a hug with him. That's what you do on the first date. Go in for a hug, and you might even kiss him on the cheek. So Lola says, give tips for being more comfortable around men. Now, when you say comfortable, I don't know exactly what you mean. Is that you are not confident around them? Do you not like them looking at your chest area? Like, I'm not too sure what you mean by that. But I would just say you have to act like you are that. That's how you have to act, but in a sweet way. So you just have to be commanding their attention, whether you feel comfortable with it or not. If you want to stand out to men and really create that lasting first impression. So it's just about being uncomfortable, but trying to put that to the back of your mind and repress that. Okay, so CEU says, how important is weight loss or being at a healthy weight for basically attracting high quality men? I would say it is very important. Most men just naturally by nature are drawn to somebody who looks healthy because they look as though they can bear children. Basically the logic and the science of that. So I would say absolutely yes, you need to look like you are at a healthy weight. Little Leah said, would it look weird if I went out on a date in a restaurant with a 60-year-old man if she is 22? And I did already reply to that, but I wanted to answer this on camera as well. I would say that it absolutely looks very weird. People are going to be looking, and as long as you are dating in an age range that you feel comfortable dating in and that you feel is appropriate, then, and you are an adult, then you can do it. But if I was 22, I would never be on a date with a 60-year-old man. That is just me, but I'm not passing judgment. So if you want to date a 60-year-old man, it's entirely up to you. But just understand that there are men that have less years than that can still give you what the 60-year-old can give you. Gab said, is it a good idea to date 10 years plus when she is 19? For me, when I was around that age, I did date like 10 years older. I think I was like 22, I dated a 32-year-old. Guys, listen to this. You have to put yourself in that situation. If you were a 29-year-old man, what would you be doing with a 19-year-old girl? You are just trying to use her to get into the bed because you know that she is going to be more gullible. There is a huge difference with things that happen in life, with experiences and all of that. From 19 to 29, that it just doesn't make sense, in my opinion. But if you were 29 with 39, that is completely different. When you're 25 dating a 35-year-old, it's totally different. At 19, my advice would be for you to just date people around your own age. Margia V says, what's your favorite book and do you have any hobbies? Love you too, girl. Well, my favorite book is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and it's really the only book I ever read. And my hobbies, I would have to say I'm a foodie, so I really enjoy eating out. I love going to the theatre. Shopping is a hobby. I love walking in nature. I love that so much. So they are like my top hobbies that I can think of right now. Jonasia Jarrett says, what is your skincare routine or skincare tips, and how do you change your gestures to be more feminine? Well, let's answer the femininity one first. So to change your hand gestures and all of that to be more feminine, it's just about softening everything that you do. If naturally you're like, oh my gosh, do you know what happened to me last week? Tone that down and say, oh my gosh, do you know what happened to me last week? So it's just about being a lot more relaxed and chilled out, calm, and not appearing hostile in any way, shape or form. So not big hand gestures, it's small and subtle, and that is my advice for the gestures. With my skincare tips and routine, I actually will be doing a separate video for that because my skin is really improving with the new products and the new routine that I have been doing. So watch this space for that video. Next is a question from Ajonya. She says, how do you keep things interesting with your SD bracket, not sexual bracket? Well, it's about being flirty, feminine. And some men like a bit of sass. Some men like somebody who seems super like girl next door and cute and innocent. So you have to play on what he likes. So it's always going to be subjective as well with every situation, but be feminine, be flirty. Okay, and you really cannot go wrong with those things. When you are keeping things exciting with your look as well, that really makes a big difference, and it makes men really interested in what you're talking about because they're like, oh my gosh, you know. So appearance, femininity, and flirtations. Winspiration says, is traveling abroad an option for dating better quality men? Now, I'm assuming that you mean actually changing location. If you are in a place that does not have the men that you want to date, then yeah, definitely move, because if you don't, you're just wasting time. Carla Pretty says, what type of music do you listen to? I listen to a variety of music. My absolute top fave music is old school R&B. So give me that B2K, give me that Joe, give me that Drew Hill, especially R&B from like 2000s, because obviously that's when I was really growing up. And after R&B, I would probably say bachata. Izzy Fizz has a few questions. She says, what are your favorite movies? What is something unexpected about you? What were you like in grade school? And what's your favorite season? Well, my favorite movies, I have a few, but Twilight will never get old. I practically know all of the words in Twilight. I also love Just Go With It with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. I love that film so much. I love Hangover, Clueless, and Get Out, and they are probably like my all-time favorite movies. Something unexpected about me, I would say, is that I have been romantically involved with women in the past. I would say that that is because people don't really expect that. What was I like in grade school? I was very confident, very outgoing. I was the type of person that I guess you wouldn't want to have an argument with. That's what I was like. Very opinionated, did what I wanted. That's what I was like. So Carmen Red says, what do you do for a living? Well, I don't do anything for a living, but what I have done in the past is nannying. I've been a nursery nurse. I have been like an administrator type thing, but the job that I had for the most time was being a legal assistant. So yeah. UC says, I want to wear short dresses, but I have incredibly skinny legs. What can I do? So wear midi dresses. That's my advice to you. I don't personally love my legs either. I would rather wear something longer, and that's why I always wear midi like 80% of the time. So wear midi dresses or mid-axi dresses. Nick F says that she went out on a date with a guy from SA. He was actually normal Okay, he drove a Honda, but in his profile pics he had a helicopter. Her second experience was that she went to Malibu. She was left at a fancy restaurant and he treated her like a piece of meat, and he wanted her to go back to his place. How do I finesse or bring up money? You said in the beginning that he kissed you and you froze, so it shows him that you aren't actually into older men. And why would he give you anything if he doesn't really think that you like him? So I feel like that ship has sailed and you must find a new person. Chill BD has said, tips for teens. Also, should we at least offer to pay for offer to pay for like on second or third date? Okay, tips for teens. Well, like, my videos aren't actually for you. I do my videos for women really 25 plus. If you are below 18, then my videos definitely are not for you. Only Lisa has said feminine do's and don'ts of shoes. I will be doing a feminine makeover shoes video, so stay tuned for that. But right now I'll just say this, that when you are wearing completely flat shoes or when you are wearing extremely high heels, it just looks ridiculous. And one looks really ridiculous and one looks really boring. So don't come across really ridiculous and do not come across really boring. But I will have a video coming on footwear, so stay tuned for that. And these are the last two questions that I'm going to do, guys. So Ella Hope has said, self-confidence and love, the difference between acknowledging male attention and craving it for validation, the role of men in your femininity journey, friends who don't support your journey. Well, the difference between acknowledging male attention and craving it for validation, I feel as though I actually spoke about that in I think it was my last video, so I'm not going to bore everybody and speak about that again. But in essence, it is that when you have worked on yourself first, you're not craving male attention for no reason, just to be whistled at just for the sake of it. It is for beneficial dating. So if you're craving male attention for anything other than beneficial dating, you have things that you have to work on mentally, in my own, internally. That's my opinion of it. And the role of men in your femininity journey is really for them to provide and protect. That should be their role. When there's a problem, they come up with a solution. When you feel scared, they come and protect you, make you not feel scared. When you are fearing or nervous about something, they have a solution, an answer. They play an active role of making sure that you feel secure in your life when you're dating them. That is the role that I think that men should play in my femininity journey. When it comes to friends who don't support your journey, I think it's just about not speaking to them about things that they don't support you on. So if they don't support that you date guys who are successful, then just don't speak to them about your dating anymore, and speak about other things, because there are so many other things to speak about than just dating experiences. Or maybe they don't support the fact that you are glowing up in your appearance. If they make small digs at you about that, then just say, look, this is my body, my face, my head. I do what I want with it. You can make yourself look better if you want to also. And it's up to them what they do with that comment. But I wouldn't think too much about friends who don't support, because like relationships, friends also come and go in my experience. The last question is from Mitch Almighty, who says, I really want to hear more on your opinion about plastic surgery. How do you think one should cope if they have a Lauryn Hill, India Arie side to them? It's that feeling of not truly loving yourself because you got it done. Any comments? I am fully for plastic surgery. I think that plastic surgery is amazing, as long as you have had it done after lots of thought, consideration. Maybe you've had a couple of counseling sessions to make sure that you don't have body dysmorphic disorder first. and make sure that you do your research and that you go with a learned surgeon. I don't think that there's anything wrong with plastic surgery. If it's going to make you happier, make your mental health happier, make your confidence skyrocket, make it so that you have higher standards when dating, I think that it is an amazing thing. But if you want to have this Lauryn Hill look or something to you, then why don't you kind of infuse the two, and maybe you might have really nice knotless braids or something that are kind of long. I think knotless braids are so cute that you wear in a ponytail, and keep your outfit still looking very, very feminine, and just do your makeup instead of surgery if you don't want to do that. Like, there are always other ways to go about things to stay true to the look that you want to stay true to, but also really incorporate that femininity into it also. So that's my advice to you. So we have now reached the end of this Q&A video. I hope that you really enjoyed this. I thank you so much for your questions. If I didn't answer your question, I really do apologize, but this is such a long video. I didn't want it to be super long, and I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah.